So we're talking about 3 core exercises that most people are missing out on doing, which could really help your stability in your core. This would help with a lot of people's back issues. If you're spending a lot of time sitting, you should be thinking about doing all of these. Often people are thinking of core exercises as things like crunches, but our core is actually designed for anti-flexion extension and anti-rotation. So our core's job is literally to keep us upright and stable. So the best core exercises are going to stop us from flexion extension and going to challenge our body against movement. So the first exercise we're going to do is a bear crawl. In this movement, we're thinking about, we start in a 4-point kneeling position, hands underneath the shoulders, toes tucked under the feet. From here, we're pushing through the floor, so we have active shoulders, bracing the core, and then just slightly lifting the knees off the floor. Now, we're going to step opposite hand and leg at the same time, whilst trying to keep the hips perfectly still. And we're going to start crawling forward. The slower, the better. It's going to force you to be in more control. Really steady in the hips. And rest. So Simon's going to show us how to do it wrong. So this is what we want to avoid. We really want to make sure that the hips are not moving excessively. So if Simon's going to shift up, and this is what we do not want to see. See how much these hips are moving? He's not working on stabilizing his core. Okay, now come back and go hips high. Here again, we're not working on that core stability as much as we'd like. So drop the butt down, steady hips, really still as possible and as controlled as possible. Rest. So now, if you're telling me that this is too easy, there's always a way to make it harder. So you're going to get into your position, you're going to have some weight on your back, again lifting the knees up. Now we've got to stabilize without letting the weight move off your back. Remember, slower is better. Thank you. Our second core exercise is a farmer's carry. So carries are one of the most effective ways for us to walk our core, because our core has to stabilize us in space while we walk. So if we add carrying something, it's going to force our core and all of the stabilizing muscles and ligaments and tendons to work as we're moving against the movement of our body. So we're going to do a single arm farmer's carry. By loading one side, it's going to force our core to work harder to keep us upright. And a kettlebell is a really nice, easy way to start with these. So we want to make sure when we're standing, when we're bending over to pick it up, that we keep our nice straight back and our braced core. So here we really want to make sure that nothing in our back is going to be compromised. So we're nice and tight, and then we're going to use our legs to stand up. From here, we're going to breathe in and brace into our belly, and you'll squeeze your lats as well. So you're going to make sure your shoulders are down and relaxed, and you're squeezing into your armpits. From here, we're going to go nice and controlled walking. Nice small steps, focusing on being as stable as possible. Good. Yeah, just come back. Good. Rest. We want to make sure that we avoid this position. And this here, Simon's got a completely relaxed core. So he's just going to be, if he stands up like this, he's using all these muscles in his back and he's putting a lot of weight onto the spine. So we want to make sure that our core is engaged tight. And from this position, he's going to use his legs to stand up. Very good. The other thing you want to avoid here is going with a weight that you can't control, or trying to shrug your shoulder to try and counterbalance. We really want to make sure that this trap stays completely relaxed. Rest. The third core exercise we're going to do is a adductor plank. So this is going to work our core to stabilize us from shifting our body sideways, and it's also going to work our adductors, the inside of the legs, and this is quite often a weak part for many people. So the first way we're going to do this is the slightly easier version. We're going to place the leg on top of a bench. This can be on a chair in your house, and we're going to bend the knee so that we're being supported just above the knee, and your elbow is on the floor, shoulder stacked above your elbow. We're going to lift up, squeezing the butt. We want to keep the body completely straight, hips stacked on top of each other, spine straight, and then lifting that bottom leg and holding. A good aim here is to try and hold for about 20 seconds and rest. Simon's like, please don't make me hold for 20 seconds.
That was fine.
Okay, second one. Now, this is the harder version. This really is quite challenging. So definitely start on the bent leg version first before you try this. So here we've got just above your ankle on the bench or chair that you're using. Same thing with shoulder stacked above your elbow. Then we're going to lift the whole body weight up, straight again, squeezing the butt, hips stacked, and lifting that bottom leg. This is going to require a lot more work for you to stabilize all your body weight with that adductor and your core. Rest. All right, so these are some of our things that we want to avoid when we're in this position. So we are aiming for this very perfectly straight upper body. So when you come up here, we want to avoid being tilted at the pelvis. We really need to keep those hips straight. The other thing we want to do is avoid being bent at the hip. We want to squeeze, so let's correct that. Squeeze the butt perfectly straight and hips stacked on top of each other.